What's good, y'all? Welcome in to another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we do always start the show by being transparent, and we don't do shows on the weekend. But the weekend did not go well for me. I think I went 2-3, something like that. Um, so yes, come on. The past few weeks we've had a winning week, but this past week I went 6-7. So not a great week last week. We'll have to do a little bit better here to start this one. And Rob Veno, he's still trying to make it back home. So he will be back tomorrow, but unfortunately, no Veno again today. And one more thing, I am not feeling the best. So you might see me mute a couple times just because I gotta cough or clear my throat or whatever. So my apologies, but I'll do my best to get through the show. Appreciate you guys in the chat. Glenn Walker says best show in the game. Prolific in the building. I know everybody's looking for Vino. I'm looking for Vino. I wish Vino was here too. Mark in the building. A lot of usual suspects in the building. All right, let's get to it. 76ers and Heat is the first game. You have the Heat on the second of a back to back. It's also the third game in 4 nights, going up against a Sixers team who does have the rest advantage, coming off that win versus the Hornets. And the Heat, they're coming back home after 3 straight road games. Granted, they didn't have to travel for one of those Cavaliers games. You know, the Heat just haven't been playing good basketball for a while. It is very hard to put your money on them. When I look at the injury report, Norman Powell's out. I really don't like the thought of backing them without him. This is a big game standings wise. I'm gonna pull it up. So for the Sixers currently are in the 7th spot in the play-in, and they are half a game from being in that 6th spot, 1 game from being in that 5th spot. Every game is important for this Sixers team. For the Heat, they are in the 9th spot, and if they lose, they'll be in that last playing spot. But it doesn't look like they're in danger of falling out of the play-in. Um, so I think you'll get a really good effort from both teams. I think the Sixers, they've gotten healthier now, and they've been playing solid basketball. They beat the Hornets. They blew out the Bulls. They did lose to the Thunder. They've been playing solid basketball lately. So I would trust that more than I trust whatever I've seen from the Heat lately. So my thought is Sixers minus 2.5 here. Let me see what you guys think. Nah, not just I don't know how. I somehow got a little bit sick, unfortunately. Um over the weekend. My bad. All right, Jamrock kicks like Sixers. Casey says no power. They're relying on the defenders to score. It could be an under game. Could be an under game there, but I would just prefer Sixers. All right. Next game up. Celtics and Hawks. And this one opened as minus 1.5 for Atlanta. Still looks like, or I'm sorry, it looks like 2 out there right now. Total open 220, and it's as high as 223.5. For the injury report, Harper is questionable, White is probable, Kata is doubtful, Tatum is out, Vucevic is out. For Atlanta, Jock Landale is questionable. These teams did just play not long ago, but the Celtics played yesterday, so a little bit of a rest advantage for the Hawks. Both teams are playing their third game in 4 nights, and the Hawks. I mean, how many games have they won? They did lose that game to the Celtics, right? Um, but how many games did they win in a row? Like they were on a crazy streak, or at least a crazy winning streak. And I know at home, maybe it's a win streak at home. I think they've won like 11 games in a row at home. They've been playing good basketball really ever since they made, those trades. They started clicking. Um, Shorthanded Celtics team here. Standings wise, let's glance at this once again. Yeah, the Celtics in the number 2 spot, 2.5 games ahead of the Knicks, 4 games behind the Pistons. You have a Hawks team who, I mean, I just mentioned that Sixers right out of the play-in. The Hawks in that 6th spot now, half a game ahead of the Sixers, half a game behind the Raptors. Hawks playing really good basketball, Probably, I'd argue, it's a more important game for them than the Celtics. And the Hawks are at home. I think for those reasons, you have to look towards Atlanta here in this game. Let's take a look at the chat. Brian says, "Is Brown playing? Celtics under 222." Yeah, Jalen Brown is in. Jalen Brown is in. Like that stat from Glenn on the Sixers as road favorites. Like that. Prolific likes the Celtics. Appreciate you, Skrilla. Glenn says Celtics with rest disadvantage 16-4 to the under. Wow. And I could see it being a more defensive game just because, it is important for both of these teams. That's a good stat right there. Appreciate you sharing that. Mark says he likes Atlanta. LJ says Hawks 13 of their last 17 games have been versus below 500 teams. Hawks schedule about to get tough. Yeah, I did a lot of saying, talking about that schedule. Definitely did. They've continued to win a lot of these games. I agree. I think that when the schedule toughens up, it could be time to fade. Is that right now? We shall see. I mean, it is a pretty banged up Celtics squad as well. Says looks like Dyson is out too. Are we getting alerts right now? Because I don't see Dyson on the injury report at all. All right. Maybe I should just refresh just to be safe. Nope, don't see Dyson. All right. Next game, Suns and Grizzlies. Man, I don't know if I'm gonna make it today, man. I'm feeling good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying though. I just Yeah, I'll keep this one short. Ty Jerome is not in the lineup. You got a lot of guys questionable or out or doubtful, whatever, for this Grizzlies team. If Ty Jerome is not playing, I have very little interest in backing that team. So for those reasons, I would only look towards the Suns. Suns also in that seventh spot in the West. They're 4 games behind the Rockets, 2.5 games ahead of the Clippers. I mean, you do have to win by a big margin here, but it just the fact that I don't trust the Grizzlies without their point guard. Bulls and Spurs. This one opened up minus 18. Hasn't really moved too much. Total open 240.5, and that has moved. It's up as high as 244.5. Looking at the injury report, I don't see anybody on there for the Spurs. Nick Richards and Yabusele are both questionable for the Bulls. And let's pull this up a little bit more here. So it is the third game in fourth and six for this Bulls team. I believe they've all been on the road. These teams, last time they played, I want to say, 121 to 117, the Spurs won, but they had to come back, I feel like. And probably won't, for one, they're playing better now, and probably just won't take them lightly in this matchup. Spurs has been blowing everybody out lately. I would only look towards the Spurs. As far as the total is concerned, I mean, I can see why it's going up. I mean, maybe you just play Spurs team total. Looking at what the Bulls have been giving up, 125, 131, 157, 124. What is the Spurs team total here tonight? Spurs team total is, it's 130.5, 131 even. So it is pretty high. Spurs been playing a good defense too. I mean, team total for, do you look the other way? Team total for the Bulls is 112.5, 113. You can get out there. Spurs have given up 113 once in their last 6 games. I don't know, a lot of different ways to look at this one. Let's see how the chat is looking at it. Mike R thinks Spurs team total over. Appreciate you, Prolific, reminding everybody to hit the like button. Let's see. Dropping Dimes likes the Spurs first half. Minus 10.5. I thought about that as well. He said they could rest this first half. They could rest the second half after a blowout in the first half. I definitely hear you on that. I feel you on that. All right, I'm gonna keep going here. T-Wolves and Mavs. Let's get back. Opened up minus 3. I'm seeing for the T-Wolves as high as 7.5 out there. Total open 232.5, and it looks like 236. injury report for the Mavericks. I see Caleb Martin doubtful, PJ Washington, Najee Marshall, Bagley, all questionable. Gafford is probable. For the T Wolves, they'll be without McDaniels, and then you have Anthony Edwards questionable here. This Wolves team, I'm gonna pull it up just to be certain, but I'm pretty sure this Wolves team did just get embarrassed. Yeah, the Wolves 87 to 109 lost to the Pistons there. I mean, I'd like to think that they'll bounce back after a performance like that. I mean, all season long though, I have been saying I don't really trust this Wolves team laying points. Haven't been really good in that role, but this is one where I think that they're the right side. Um, let's pull up the standings for the West. The Wolves are in the fifth spot. I mean, same record as the Rockets, who are right behind them in the sixth spot. So, you know, a lot of movement can go on. They're 3 games behind the third spot. A lot of movement can go on for this Timberwolves team. I think that you get a really good effort from them off of the blowout. The Mavericks, just looking at what they've done. Yes, they beat the Blazers in their last game, and that was crazy. I mean, they held the Blazers below 100. Prior to that, I mean, they weren't playing any defense. That was just crazy. They've been giving up like 130 something every night, then come out and give up 190. I mean, give up 93. So is something changing? I mean, the Mavericks did have 2 days off. So usually when you have extended time off, gives you time to work on some things that are going wrong. But this Mavericks team is already done, already eliminated. I prefer the Timberwolves side in this game. Anything from you guys? Casey says Minnie just posted a McDaniels update. I mean, he's already out, considered week to week. Okay, I see. Yeah. Never know with Minnesota. I agree. Brian says if Gafford plays, he likes the under or thinking about the under. I have to see that defense play again. I'm not going to trust it after just it could just be a one-off for that Mavs defense. Cavaliers and Jazz, really big point spread here. Went down though from 17.5 to 16.5. Total went down also from 245 to 241 and a half. Porter probable, Jared Allen, Max Strus, Jalen Tyson, Dean Wade all out. For Utah, Keontae George, Laurie Markkinen, and Isaiah Collier all out. It's the third game of 4 nights for the Jazz. It's the first of a back-to-back for the Cavaliers. They did have 2 days off before this game, and they play the Lakers tomorrow in LA. Cavaliers also coming off of a blowout win versus the Heat, 149 to 128. The Jazz, what have they lost here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've lost 5 in a row. Man, the Jazz, I don't know. I don't want to put my money too much on teams that have nothing to play for, have shown they don't want to win. I do think, I mean, I might disagree with the total coming down unless you get some kind of other injury report. I mean, the Cavs should be able to name their number, and I think that their defense isn't that great. So lean over here, but ultimately probably just going to stay away from this game. Um, let's see. Anything else here? Yeah, pass. You're right. You're right, Mark. Pistons and Thunder opened up 13 down to 12. Total from 219 and a half to 218 and a half. We have Hardenstein questionable. We have Asar Thompson questionable. Duran, Harris, Robinson, all doubtful. No Cade, no Isaiah Stewart. I mean, you might not have any starters for this Detroit team out there tonight. Will OKC take them serious? I guess that's the big question here. Second of a back-to-back for OKC, but I don't believe, yeah, last game was not too taxing. First game of a back-to-back for the Pistons. They play the Raptors tomorrow. You know, the Pistons, they've been playing a lot of games, I feel like, lately. What is this? Fourth and 6 nights here? they've been playing a lot of games, and although they have the rest advantage, I mean, as long as OKC is going to play and care, they're going to cover. But that's the thing in the NBA nowadays. Are they going to care with everybody out in this game enough to win by this margin? I would only trust the Thunder here. Um, as far as the total, I would trust the defense more than offense for Detroit, and we know OKC is a good defense as well. So seeing this one being moved down slightly, I would agree with that. And yeah, we'll move on over to the next one. Appreciate you, Jeff, reminding everybody to hit the like button here. Definitely helps out the show. All right. Last one, I believe, here. Wizards and Lakers. So for this one, opened up 14, looks like 15 and a half or 16 total. I'm sorry. Injury report. Luca out, Marcus Smart out, Thiero out for Washington. Carrington and Trey Johnson, as well as Sar, are all questionable. Trey Young, doubtful. AD, Keyshawn George, and D'Lo all out. This is the Wizards on a back-to-back. This is the Lakers with 2 days off. The Lakers are on the front end of a back-to-back. They play the Cavaliers tomorrow. Um, you know, it's only one way to bet this game. 2 days off for zero, and they had the dog had to travel. They've been getting blown out all the time anyway. Only way to play this game is the Lakers. Other than that, prop wise, I did want to mention that Austin Reeves without Luca and Marcus Smart. He's played 4 games. His points and assists. Maybe I'll just let me pull it up here to be specific, but I'm pretty sure the number last I saw was 36 and a half. And let's get back here. Yeah, 36 and a half. And thought about playing it over. So without Marcus Smart and Luca, he's hit all 4 games. Let me just get here to get the specific numbers. Hit all 4 games, 44, 44, 54, 44. But granted, those weren't games Lakers are blowing their opponent out. This is a point spread where, you expect things to get out of hand. Maybe he goes and sits down on the bench. That's what worries me about Austin Reeves. But other than that, I mean, without Luka and without Marcus Smart, he's going to get more minutes. Going to have the ball in his hand all game. Austin Reeves points and assists, pretty appealing. And the next thought, for the same reason of, what's maybe holding me up a little bit on that, if it gets out of hand, the bench guy is going to get in. Guys like maybe Bronny are going to get in. And like if Lakers are about 20, Bronny's going to be playing some just probably like double-digit minutes. And you have an opportunity to score. I mean, I know G League and NBA are different, but he just had a crazy hot game in the G League. And we've seen times where Lakers are blowing teams out and they put him in and he can score a little bit. His point prop was only 6.5 or 5.5. I would look at that too. All right. That is the NBA slate for today. And yeah, man, that was tough, but I got through it. All right, a little bit of promo stuff. The buy 3, get 3 free, 6 days for just $69. Yeah, if you like to be involved, that's just a really good way to do it. If you maybe you've already done a little bit of that, or you would like longer term, you do the all in for the year. Ultimate All Access Pass comes out to under $4 per day. And if you were to, for example, purchase Rob Veno All Access for a year, you will receive a 25% bonus coupon. You can come check out something that I have over here as well. If you say, nah, I'd rather just rock with Rob Veno and Skee um, together. You can do double the NBA court vision, 3 days for $59. So a lot of different ways to get involved. Today, unfortunately, I cannot leave a best bet for the show. I will maybe make bets later throughout the day, but as of right now, I've only made one, and it is my 5% play. So if you're interested, if you like to be involved, you find it over at WagerTalk. And my top plays are 21 and 8. That's the run that they're on. So been doing pretty well. We'll see if we can keep it going here tonight. Appreciate all y'all for rocking with me. We will have Rob Veno back tomorrow. I'm gonna go try to get a little better, drink some tea and stuff. And yeah, best of luck on everything. I'll catch y'all later.